require a yoga strap in this practice. And if you don't have a yoga strap, grab a towel or belt or anything that is about 1 meter to 1.5 meters long. Okay, put this by your side and come into a comfortable seat on your mat. Cross your legs and adjust so that you are sitting, bones are resting evenly on the ground. Sit up tall and let your hands rest lightly on your knees. Close your eyes and begin to bring your awareness to the breath and the journey of your breath moving in and out your nose. Notice how it feels as the breath enters your nostrils and into your lungs, how it expands and fills up your lung space. And the breath now moving back out from the lungs through the nostrils again. Take a few more rounds of full and mindful breaths, just like that. Slowly open up your eyes and take your strap. Hold it with both hands, make the strap taut. Bring the strap right in front of you. And with your arms straight, take the strap up over the head and all the way to the back. And from the back to the front again. So if you can't keep your arms straight while you're doing this, you make your strap longer, so that you want to keep the arms straight at all times. Moving back and front, breathing as you do this, just warming up your shoulder joints. You should feel the stretch in the inner shoulders as you move the strap back. Okay, now take the left hand to the side, still holding onto the strap. And bring your right arm up and to the back. And from the back, circle your right arm to the front. Couple more rounds like this. As you inhale, reach your right arm up and back. As you exhale, bring that strap forward again. Again, maintaining the tautness of the strap as you move. This should help to open up the right side of your chest and the right side of your shoulder. And switching sides. Now bring your left arm up and back, circle, and back to the front. Inhaling as you open up. Exhaling as you bring that strap forward. This time feeling the stretch in the left side of your chest and the left inner shoulder. Now return to center and sitting with your legs crossed. Bring the strap behind you. Walk your hands as close as you can to get your shoulder blades to roll back and your arms should be straight. Now take the strap behind you, press the knuckles into the floor, lift your heart up. And then from here, press down through your knuckles and lift the hips up as well. Stretching your hip points forward and gently squeezing your glutes. And come back center. And take the strap all the way to your right hip or right waist. Twist and look over your left shoulder, lightly tugging with the strap, and return. Take the strap over to the other side, to your left side. Twist and look over your right shoulder. Return. And I'll take your strap up towards the ceiling as you bow forward, gently hugging the shoulder blades back, and rise. And switch the cross of the legs. Repeat that same sequence. Roll your shoulders back, stretch your arms away, holding onto the strap, and press your knuckles to the floor. Lift your heart up. And continue to lift the hips off the floor, pressing down through your shins, and return to a seat. And take the strap over to your right side, gently tugging with your right hand. Look over your left shoulder, twist, return, and twist the other way. And return. And bowing forward, stretch your strap up towards the ceiling. And come back up and release. And put the strap by your side. Come on to all fours and begin to stack your hips over your knees. Walk your hands, reach them forward. Lift the armpits away from the ground as you let your heart melt down. You're sending your hips up and keeping that softness through the heart space. Armpits continue to lift away from the floor, but the heart space continues to sink. Right, now weave your right arm over to the left side. Rest on the right outer shoulder. Reach your left arm forward. Walk on your fingertips. And bring your left hand in line with the crown of the head, opening up and stretching the left side of your armpit. Push your left hip back. Finding all that space you need. And then come back center. And switch, take your left arm and weave it across to your right side. Walk your right arm forward. Go on to your fingertips. And line up that right hand with the crown of the head. Stretching your right side of your armpit. And pushing your right hip back. And finding space in the right side of your body. Press back up onto all fours. Now moving into some wrist stretches, wrist warm-ups. And start by turning your hands with your palms facing down and your fingers pointing towards the knees, the heels of your palms facing the front of the mat. Begin to gently circle around in one direction, making sure you press down through all your fingers. And circle the other way around. Begin to gently rock forward and back. And slowly, even lifting and peeling your palms away from the mat as you do that. And coming on to your fingertips. And now roll over so that the backs of your hands are on the mat. Your thumbs face the outer edges of your mat. And circle around and move forward and back. This time stretching the top part of your wrists flip your fingers to point towards the knees. Again, stretching, pressing down to the backs of your hands. Circle about. Now come onto your palms in a regular all-fours position. And prepare for downward facing dog. Lifting your hips up. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Press down evenly through all your knuckles and the finger pads. Push with your arm bones. Send your hips up towards the ceiling. And from your sit bones, stretch down through the heels. Shake up your head or just move in any way that gives you space. Step both legs forward. Halfway lift, inhale. And bow, forward, exhale. Put a soft bend in your knees and roll yourself up to a stand. Now take your hands and place your palms supporting your sacrum with your fingers pointing down. Roll your shoulders back, point your elbows back, and with your hands you gently push your hips forward, leaning back. Keep the chest open, gently arching. And as you exhale, put a soft bend in your knees and bow forward halfway, keeping the length of your spine. Interlace your fingers behind you and continue to stretch your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Fold. Now bend your knees and keep the hips in line with your knees. Release your fingertips to the mat, maintaining the length of the spine. Step your right leg back and come down onto your right knee into a low lunge. Place your hands behind your sacrum and pushing your hips forward as you lean back again to arch. And return to center. Place your hands back onto the mat. Bring your left leg back. So now you're in a kneeling position. And bring your hands again behind your sacrum. And push your hips forward and lean back to arch. Keeping the hips in line with your knees, stretching the front of your thighs, your quads. And return to center and plant both hands down onto the mat, onto all fours. And come down onto your chest and shift forward into cobra. And downward facing dog. Step both legs forward. Inhale. Bow forward. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. And place both hands supporting the sacrum. And come back up into a stand and continue to lean back, pushing your sacrum, your hips forward, arching. And exhale, back to center. Release the hands by your sides. Second side, roll your shoulders back, hands supporting your sacrum. Inhale, leaning back, arching. Strong through the legs. And exhale, keep the length of the spine as you bow halfway. Interlace your fingers behind you, stretch your arms up and bow forward. Bend your knees and place your fingertips to the mat. And step your left leg back this time. Come down onto your left knee, low lunge. Let the hips drop. And bring your hands now to your sacrum. And pushing your hips forward, lean back, arch. Lengthening the left side of your hip flexor, opening the heart. Feel that lengthening. And come back center. Place both hands onto the mat. And step your right leg back. And come up into a kneeling position. Hands support the sacrum. Set your shoulders back. And lean back. Arching. Return to center. Come back onto all fours. Lower your chest in between your hands. And rising up into cobra, shoulders moving back and down. Downward facing dog. Step both legs forward. Inhale. Exhale, bow down. And inhale, look forward. Halfway lift. Hands behind you, support your sacrum. And rise. Pushing your hips forward, leaning back to arch. And exhale, return to center. Release your hands. Now we'll repeat that sequence, but this time with your fingers pointing up. Pressing your palms into your sacrum, leaning back, arching. Inhale. As you exhale, bow forward halfway. Interlace your fingers behind you and stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Bow forward. Bend your knees. Let the hips sink. Fingertips to the mat. Step your right leg back. Lower your right knee onto the mat. Low lunge. And with the same hand position, place it behind you. Fingers pointing up. Press, push into your sacrum and leaning back, lifting your heart, arching. And back to center. Hands down. Take your left leg back. Walk yourself up, back. And come into a kneeling position. Hands behind. Again, gently pushing your hips forward, lengthening that lower back as you arch. Exhale. Return. Come onto your hands and knees. And let your chest drop in between the hands. Shift forward into cobra. Downward facing dog. Step both legs to the front. Halfway lift. Place your hands on your sacrum again, fingers pointing upwards. Stand up, lean back, lengthen the lower back, arch, and return to center. Release your hands. Second side, inhaling, hands behind, arching. Exhale, bow forward halfway. Interlace your fingers behind you, stretch your arms up, knuckles point up. Bend your knees, fingertips touch the mat. Step your left leg back. Lower your left knee onto the mat. Low lunge. Set your hands behind you. Push into the sacrum. Lean back. Lifting your heart. And return center. Plant your hands down and shift your right leg back. Come up into a kneeling position. Hands behind and pushing your hips forward. Keeping the length in the front and back body. Coming back center. And plant your hands onto the mat. Lower your chest in between your hands. And rise up to cobra. Downward facing dog. Step both legs to the front. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bow down. Hands to your sacrum, inhale, rising, and lean back, arching. Exhale, return to center, and release your hands. Shifting your weight into your left leg. With the right hand, hold on to your right foot. With your right knee pointing down, reach your left arm forward and begin to kick back. Lifting the heel away from the floor, reaching forward through that left arm and gently coming down onto the left hand. Continue to kick that right leg up and away from you. And release your right hand. Step your right leg back and lower your right knee onto the mat, low lunge. Plant your right hand onto the floor, bend your right leg and circle your left arm behind you. Catch the foot into the right quad stretch. Breathing all the way into that right thigh. Release. Shift your left leg back and come up into a kneeling position. Hands behind your sacrum, leaning back, that's an option. Or for those of you who can go deeper, hands to your heels into a full camel pose. And come back and release. Hands onto the mat, chest in between the hands, rising up into cobra and lower. And bend your right leg, catch your foot with your right hand, reach your left arm forward and lift your arms, lift the chest, lift the legs off the floor. Release. Plant your hands next to your chest, push yourself up and back to downward facing dog. Step both legs forward, halfway lift, exhale, bow down, bend your right leg, catch the foot with your right hand, and then from here, slowly balancing on your left leg, come up, reach your left arm forward and kick that right leg up away from the floor. And gently, slowly release. Switch sides. Balance on your right leg. Bend your left. Catch the foot with your left hand. Reach your right arm forward. Slightly leaning forward as you kick the left leg away from the ground. fold forward, the right hand touching the mat. Continue to take that left leg up and away from you. Slowly release that left leg back into a low lunge. Press your left hand down, bend your left leg, and circle your right arm back, catch the foot, and pull that heel closer towards you. Release. And step your right leg back and come up into a kneeling position. It's an option to continue supporting the hip, the sacrum, or hands reach back for your heels and lifting your heart up into camel pose. Push your hip points forward. Slowly come back center. Plant your hands down. Come down onto your chest and rise into cobra. Lower back onto the mat. Bend your left leg and catch the foot with your left hand. Reach your right arm forward. Lift everything up. Release. And place your hands next to your chest. Push yourself up and back into downward facing dog. Forward, step both legs to the front. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bow down. And balance on your right leg, bend that left leg. Catch the foot with your left hand and kick that leg up. Soft bend in your right knee, balance. With one leg, slowly come back up. Reach your right arm forward. And slowly release. One more sequence. And bring your hands in front of you and up over the head with the palms facing forward. Lean back to arch. Letting the shoulders drop back. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. And exhale. Step your right leg back. Come down onto your right knee. Low lunge. Bring your arms up next to your ears, palms facing forward. And continue to lean back, keeping the hips low. Lead with those shoulders. Leaning back and exhale. Release the hands back onto the mat. Plant your right hand on the floor. Bend your right leg and circle your left arm back. Catch the foot. Twist. Release. And shift your left leg back. Come up into a kneeling position. Place your right hand on your right heel. If that's too far for you, support your back and circle that left arm back and up, lifting your heart up, keeping the shoulders in the same line, and circle back down, switching sides. And left hand to the heel or support your left sacrum, and circle your right arm to the side and all the way to the back, lifting your heart, keeping the chest in line with the ceiling, and circle back down and onto the hands and knees. Lower your chest in between the hands and rise up into cobra. Inhale. Lower to the ground. Now bend both legs and catch your feet with both hands. Hug your shoulders back, point your knees back, and start to push your feet into the hands as you lift into bow pose. Continue breathing and slowly release. Place your hands next to your chest, push yourself up and back into downward facing dog. Look forward, step both legs to the front, halfway lift, exhale, bow down. Inhale, come up, rise, bring your arms up next to your ears and leaning back, let the shoulders drop back, exhale, return to center. And left side, inhale, arms reach up and back, arching, exhale, bow forward, touch the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, step your left leg back, come down onto your left knee, low lunge. And bring your arms up next to your ears and lean back, lifting your heart, stretching your armpits. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. And bend your left leg and catch the foot with your right hand. Turning and spinning the chest to your right side. Stretching your left quad, left hip flexor. Release. Now shift your right leg back. And come up into a kneeling position. And take your left hand to your left heel and sweep your right arm all the way to the back, chest facing the ceiling. And circle back down. And switching sides, right hand to your right heel and sweep your left arm up and over. And circle back to the front. Walk your hands forward. Lower your chest in between your hands. And rise to cobra. Lower to the ground. And bend both legs and catch both feet. Hug your shoulders back and lift the thighs and lift the chest. Push your feet into the hands and release. And plant your hands next to your chest. Push yourself up into downward facing dog. Forward, step both legs to the front and halfway lift, inhale, exhale, bow down and inhale, stand up, reach your arms up and back to arch. One more time, exhale, return to center. Now make your way onto your mat, sit down. Take this time to wipe off any sweat. And we'll meet on the mat, on your backs. Make sure if you have a ponytail, the ponytail is not pressing into the ground. I'm going to shift the ponytail maybe a little bit higher or lower so that the back of your skull is on the mat. Press down through your feet. Feet are hip distance apart. Knees are pointing forward. And roll your shoulders back. Interlace your fingers and press down through the arms, through the outer shoulders. Lift the hip points up and gently hugging your inner thighs, inner knees toward each other. And slowly release, but lying down onto the arms. Do not release your interlace. Rest on your arms. And again, lifting the hips up, stretch your knees forward, press down evenly through the feet. Lift the hips up, press down through your outer shoulders, through the back of your skull. And slowly return. Rest. Next, walk your feet a little bit closer towards the hands or towards the hips. Lift the heels off the floor. Get some extra height here as you lift the hips away from the ground. Stretch your knees forward. Lift the hips higher than before. Now with your hands, support your sacrum. You're going to wiggle your hands under with your fingers pointing towards the knees. Pressing down through the outer arms, outer shoulders. Interlace your fingers and lower the hips. Rest here a few moments. Now lift the heels up again. Push down through the tippy toes, lift the hips up. Now this time supporting your sacrum with your fingers pointing towards your face, or towards the head, towards the shoulders. Get some extra height through the hips. Interlace your fingers and slowly lower back onto the arms. And walk your feet one step forward and release your hands and place your hips back onto the ground. Rest. Plant your hands next to your hips. And making sure the fingers can touch the back of your heels. Now lift the hips up, pressing firmly with the hands. And see if you can balance on your left leg. Lift the right leg off the floor and stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling. Press down firmly through that left leg. Release your right. And then switch sides, shift your weight into the right leg, lift the left leg up towards the ceiling, keeping the hips high as you stretch up, and slowly release. Same bridge for a few breaths before lowering to the ground. Rest. Allow the knees and your hips to sway side to side. Okay, and you can now either repeat bridge, or if you have your upward bow practice, we'll move on into upward facing bow. And take your hands, plant them next to your ears, fingers pointing towards your feet. Lift the hips up and push with your hands and place the crown of the head on the mat. Adjust through the shoulders before you lift your heart up. Lift the chest up, stretch your arms, press and push down with both feet. And come back down. Rest a few breaths. And we'll repeat that one more time. Same thing. Set your hands. Tuck your shoulders back. Press down through the feet. Lift the hips away from the floor. Roll onto the crown of the head. Make any necessary adjustments you need to. And then push with strong arms, with strong legs. And gently come back down. Rest. One more variation. Come into upward facing bow. weight into your left leg. So you can pick your right leg up and stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling. Strong through the arms and through that standing leg. Release. Switch. Left leg goes up and reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. And release. Stay a few breaths in upward bow before lowering back to the ground. Okay, we're done with all that back bend. And coming into some stretches, some twists before we end. Take your feet mat distance apart and drop your knees over to one side, allowing your breath to slow down. And drop your knees to the other side like a windshield wiper. And return to center. And bring your right leg into happy baby pose. Yes. Now you open up that left hip so that the left knee points out to the left side, gently pressing down with the left hand, pressing down your left thigh. Take your time here. And keeping the spine long. Bring your right thigh to cross over your left thigh. Bring your thighs towards your belly, and with your hands hold on to your ankles. Keep your feet flexed as you pull your feet apart. Continue to press your thighs toward the belly and press your shoulder blades down. Press your sacrum into the floor, keeping a nice, long and neutral spine. Keep the cross of the legs, release the hands, shift your hips a few inches to the right side and drop your knees over to the left into a reclining spinal twist. Let your right shoulder descend. And your rib cage turns from the left to the right side. Keep the position of the legs. Turn and flip your upper body to face the mat. Press down through the forearms. And turn your chest to face the ground. Relax the head. Press down with your right hand, weave your left arm through, come back into your twist and unwind. Alright, switch sides. Take your left leg into a happy baby. And open up that right hip with the right knee pointing out to the right side. Allowing that left thigh to sink toward the floor. And keeping balance through the hips. Through the lower back. And bring your legs back to center and cross your left leg over your right leg. Bring your thighs toward the belly, hold on to your ankles. Flex your feet and pull your feet away from each other. And stretching your outer hips. Press your shoulders down. Press your sacrum down. Shift your hips to the left a few inches. Drop your knees to the right side. Come into a reclining twist. Reach your left arm away from you. Let the left shoulder drop. Turning the rib cage from the right to the left. Now flip over, legs stay there. Flip over so that your chest faces the floor. Stay on your forearms. Relax the head, the neck. Unwind and make your way back onto the mat. Unhook the legs back to center. Both legs come into happy baby. Extend both legs out wide to the sides. Use your hands to help separate the legs and push out through the heels. Bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together. Lower your legs to the ground with your knees pointing out to the sides and gently pressing your thighs down with your hands. Allow the small of your back to gently lift away from the ground. Your body finding its natural curve through the spine. Bring your knees back to center. Hug your legs in towards you. Now begin to curl your head off the ground, curl into a nice tight ball, allowing the lower back to peel away from the ground. Nice tight squeeze here before releasing everything down. Head down, feet down. One by one, stretch out your legs. Bring your arms by your side away from the hips. Make any adjustments to feel comfortable. And close your eyes. Prepare for savasana. And take a quick scan through the body. Relaxing every muscle, every bone. Just imagine your body like this big mass of liquid, gently and slowly spreading out. There's only you and a breath left here. Taking as much time as you need. continue to stay here. Namaste. And thank you for practicing with me today. I hope this practice has served you.